And Northwest Public Broadcasting journalist Lauren Paterson was inside the courtroom during that sentencing hearing yesterday. Hi, Lauren. Thanks for coming on. What was it like being in the room as these loved ones faced Bryan Kohberger, telling him what he stole from them in killing these four students, but also what they thought of him?
This was the most intense court hearing I've been to so far. I've been to pretty much all of them, and I've never really seen anything like this. All the emotion in the courtroom, people sharing memories of their children. There was a little bit of laughter, thinking back to memories, many tears. It was really heartbreaking to hear the roommates talk about how they've struggled, the fallout from this case, how it's affected their lives. People were choking back tears. Of course, I was sitting behind Kohberger. I've spent so much time looking at the back of his head, and he was squirming in his seat when Olivia Gonsalves and Steve Gonsalves were laying into him, calling him pathetic, telling him he's a loser. It kind of felt like he wanted to say something, but of course he couldn't, and at the end chose not to.
Kohberger's demeanor didn't seem to change much during the hearing, but there was an exchange with his mother. What did you make of that?
Yes. So when he first entered the courtroom, his mother actually burst into tears. I was sitting three people away from her on the bench. And it was interesting. People around me, and I confirmed this with several people, said that she mouthed, "I love you" to him, and that he mouthed, "I love you" back. So I, saw her there. She was pretty contained through the hearing, but she was gripping a tissue tightly throughout and crying off and on.
You're working on a book about the local perspective on this case. What is it you think people from outside the area don't get about what happened here and the impact?
The more I think about this case and journalism in general, the more I realize that journalists in a way are historians. We're documenting events that happen that become part of the record of, humanity and culture. So I really think it's important that we have a local narrative about this story. People who weren't there just don't understand the cloud of terror we were living under for those 6 weeks, not knowing if there was someone lurking in our community who did this. And it turns out there was. There was just so much going on behind the scenes that people still don't know, that I think they'd be really interested to learn about.
All right, Lauren Paterson, thank you.